Hello, YouTube. This is Zadok El Osiris, aka Z-Man Pots and Pans. Um, this is the rundown part 2, and like I said in part 1, the brother, he dies around the questions. He didn't really want to answer the question about the Fatiha and all this. Not what I said, but make a long story short, I'm gonna give them a question. And some people some idea of what's going on with the Sunni Muslims faith. The people that call themselves under the Salafi Salaf. Let me give you something. Let me expose their religion, because they run around exposing everybody else's. Siraj Wahaj, Imam Siraj Wahaj, Ahmadidat, their friend Khalid Yasin, saying bad things about my ancestors. My black leaders and stuff like that. Okay, well, let me expose your religion to you. I'm going to give you a question that neither one of y'all can dodge. And I say this to everyone in YouTube, be careful if you ask them questions about, pretend a lot of stuff I'm telling you, because, it's kind of dangerous, because they are a dangerous group of people and they are emotional. So be careful. But I want to talk about a jinn. In their religion. The jinn is another being with free will like us. They they were created by Allah. But there was a jinn in their religion. It was called Iblis. Wait a minute. Before I go talking about that, I want to also inform you of something. Muslims cannot worship none but Allah. This is their whole religion, Allah, monotheism, believing in one God. One God. He has no friends, no partners. He's not no idol. You can't worship no idols in their religion. There's none of that stuff. It's Allah alone. And I'm telling you this for a reason. I'm about to drop a bomb in a minute. Like I said, a Muslim can only worship Allah alone. The Sunni Muslims worship Allah alone. Nothing. You can't put a moon there. Nothing. A sun, a earth. Nothing. They can't worship nothing that Allah created. They got to worship Allah alone. Now, there's a jinn in their religion named Iblis. Also, you can call him Shaitan. Also, you can, in English, you can say Satan or Lucifer. At once upon a time, this jinn, Iblis, or during the time when he was a good jinn, he was called Izazil. He worked for Allah. He worshipped Allah. Matter of fact, he was even Muslim at this time. He was Muslim because he worshipped Allah. And a jinn can even be Muslim, because there's even a surah in the Quran that states that. It's called Al-Jinn. Okay, make a long story short. This jinn fought and killed the evil jinn for Allah. He was the guarder of the lower heavens. He worshipped Allah, and everything. Now, you ask a Muslim this question. Being as though, Iblis or Azazel, this jinn, was Muslim at the time when he worked for Allah and everything. And all Muslims got to worship Allah. Then ask them this question. Just ask them this question. And this will blow their head up. Just ask them this question. Why did Allah kick him out of heaven for not prostrating to Adam? Not praising Adam? Not worshiping Adam? That's what it was basically. Not prostrate, because a Muslim, it is a sin, because a Muslim cannot prostrate to me. A Muslim cannot prostrate to you. He can only prostrate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as they say. Then why was this jinn, who was a Muslim, kicked out of paradise? Because he would not prostrate his head down to a man. He even said why. He was like, well, that's a man. He goes that far in the Quran. It says that, well, he's a man. He's a mortal. He basically was like, I'm making long. I'm shortening it, but it was basically saying that's a man. I'll destroy him. He basically called him an idol. What do I look like doing that? You know what's the funny? You know what's the funny thing about the story I just told you? If you ask a Muslim that, you know what they'll say? If you ask a Sunni Muslim that, you know what they'll say? They'll say, Allah told him to to bow down, to prostrate towards Adam. They saying that the same this God who who told all his prophet, all his Muslims to worship him, told this Muslim at this time to worship a man. This God who tells everybody to work, listen what's going on. Who tells who will throw you in hellfire for worshiping idols, according to the Muslims' doctrine. This guy who will throw you in the hellfire for worshiping all kinds of other idols or things he created. He will throw you in hellfire for that. This God that will throw you in hellfire for that told his servant to pray, to prostrate towards Adam. And when that servant said no, he kicked him out of paradise. That story alone sounds flaky now, don't it? Don't it? All Muslims are supposed to worship Allah. So why did Allah kick Iblis out of paradise? I mean, this jinn was even in the company of the heavenly host, the angels. The angels are made of light, and jinn made of fire. That's according to the Sunnis' doctrine. That's how the angels and the jinn are two different beings. He was even in their company. He was kicked out of that because he would not worship a man. Because he would not. It even says it in the Quran in Arabic too when you read it. Look up for the word sajda. It goes sajdu. Sajda. It's right in there. And what cracks me up, and again, is that they said that Allah told him to worship something else. This God that tell them not, that don't make no sense. God told his servant to worship something, to prostrate to something else. That sounds sick. It's this kind of shit that they use to fuck people's minds up, man. Don't make no motherfucking sense, man. Is that a contradiction or what? Peace. You watching Z-Man Pots and Pans. Brothers of Doc L. Osiris. Whoa.